funny, one of the funniest stories that I have is, well, two stories. So I was in basic training, and you're not supposed to have any pictures of anything on your wall locker except for your wife, okay? And I had a couple of pictures of fish on my wall locker. And so I remember a drill sergeant going through our stuff and just tearing our stuff up. And there's a lot of profanity when you're a drill sergeant, right? I mean, that's part of their shtick. And he's looking at my wall locker and, "Oh, you married to a fish, private, blankety, blankety, blank." And whatever. Well, he liked to fish too. And he was an avid bass fisherman, loved bass fishing. And so he'd ask me about fishing once in a while. I mean, he wasn't very warm, friendly, fuzzy, but every once in a while, he'd ask me what kind of fishing I did or what the fishing was like. He'd always be kind of picking my brain or whatever. So I felt like I had this connection with him where I like to fish, he likes to fish, and and so one time we're going through chow line, and there's like four drill sergeants standing in front of me. We're all going through, and the thing is, you never volunteer for anything, and you never say anything. You just keep your head down and do your thing and keep yourself. And they're talking amongst themselves, and they're like, "Yeah, she weighed 11 pounds, 2 ounces, or 9 pounds." I don't remember what the weight was, but I just remember thinking, "Wow, that is one nice bass." I'm thinking, we're in Oklahoma here, and longer growing season, and this and that, and warmer water, and all this kind of stuff. Thinking, that's a big bass. And I wasn't even thinking. I was just getting food on my tray, and that's, drill sergeant, that's a really nice bass, drill sergeant. And they all stopped, looked at me, and I shouldn't have, I mean, what's a private saying anything, And, well, here what happened was when the drill sergeant wife just had a baby girl, and it wasn't a bass, it was a baby girl, and they didn't hear the B in bass, and I did push-ups until my buddies didn't see me for 10 days. Every terrible job you could imagine on Fort Sill, I had to sign up for. I mean, it was just, dumbest, to this day, one of the dumbest things I've ever done. I remember one time, we were always doing these road marches, and every day we'd walk over this bridge. And then me and a couple other guys from North Dakota, we were into fishing, and we'd look over the side of this bridge, and we see all these fish floating around down there, carp and bass and you name it. I mean, just full of fish. Like this river never got fished, in Fort Sill, and it was only maybe 15 feet wide, maybe 3 feet deep. Every day we'd look over that bridge, we'd see all these fish swimming around, and one time we just had like a half-day break where we were supposed to go to the BX and buy some stuff and whatever, and it was like towards the end of basic training, and so we weren't supposed to do this, but my buddy and I go, let's, it was like 5 miles away, let's run there and try to fish for, we can probably fish for an hour, and we just got to make sure that we're back in time, for roll call, and so we had this sewing kit, which we never used. That was one of the things we were supposed to have, is this sewing kit, and I didn't know how to sew anyways. But we bent the needles the needles into hooks and tied the sewing thread on, and we made these fishing rods. And we went down there and sat below that bridge, and we were catching grasshoppers and putting them on these needles and catching these. I would assume there's some type of a shell cracker, some type of a sunfish. It was kind of like a bluegill, but had a bigger mouth, and they were big, and just did that for an hour. Then we had to run 5 miles all the way back to where we were staying, to the barracks. And yeah, that was another great memory from basic training that kind of incorporated fishing. So.